Yeah, so the point was I started using the off the market forever because I don't think there's a better way to say it. It's like, hey, you had all these assumptions about when you were going to get this domain. You kept kicking the can down the road, and now it's gone. And the thing is we're seeing the velocity of that happening just go parabolic.
So, you know, we were not a classic Silicon Valley company, and we're still not a classic Silicon Valley company. We did not raise venture money. We didn't beat our chests about, you know, raising a lot of money and deploying a lot of money on things like, you know, sock puppets and television advertising and expensive domain names. But we did buy the third most expensive domain name ever sold. That's a little surprise. And what we did when we bought coupons.com was we looked at our resources as a company. We looked at the large offline players in the promotion space, and we said, look, we just don't have the resources to go toe-to-toe with these folks. We're digital, we're savvy, and we are here in Silicon Valley, and we're building a company that's sustainable and disruptive, but we needed to deploy our resources in the fundamentally most meaningful and ROI positive way we could. And so what we thought was, looking at the old adage, you know, Burger King, McDonald's, right? If you call yourself Burger King and you sell burgers, everybody gets it. If you call yourself McDonald's, it's not obvious what you do. We called ourselves coupons.com, and we knew that everything that we were going to do as a business was going to be centered around the promotion space and couponing, whether it be digital, printable, electronic commerce, what have you. Coupons are coupons, and it's something that people well understood.
You know, if I had to take away one thing from this video today, is that don't miss the opportunity, right? So we're talking about that gone forever is really, it's that wake up call for brands and companies to say, you're not going to have forever. There's going to come a time when that's going to sell. There's going to come a time it's going to impact your brand, right? So I talk about the 7 dimensions, done several interviews on this, the 7 dimensions to a domain name, right? So it's global positioning, industry positioning, it's branding, it's marketing, it's SEO, it's email, and it's the ability to pivot and to expand beyond just maybe one area, right? So it was Zen Payroll, went to Gusto because, you know, the payroll, it was Zen Payroll, that was their brand. It limited them to what they could do, so they rebranded to Gusto. Okay, one example that's out there. There's many other examples, but I think that's the big takeaway for me when this is that there is a supply and demand. Once it's gone, it's gone. I mean, I have a list here that I keep, and I talk about that as I'm researching of brands that will never own their brand. So Octane.com versus Octane Lending, right? Ladder Life versus Ladder Capital, which raised $80 million. Alice versus Alice.co. Something they raised $2.5 million, right? Catalyst versus Get Catalyst. So I mean, all these brands that are out there that are trying to say, hey, we're this brand, but there's confusion in there because you know, a lot of them don't call themselves Get Catalyst. They call themselves.
And if they ever want to upgrade, they have to look at an entire rebranding process. Yeah. Chris, you were telling me earlier.
But why would see like why do you want to upgrade, right? So I mean that's the like you want to upgrade because you want to create clarity and simplicity, and you want to create this effortless path through brand. Like no one looks and says, "Man, Apple has Apple.com." You don't say that. You're like, it's the completeness of who they are, right?
Yeah.
It's
of course they own it.
Every major brand owns. Yeah.
If you can look at me with a straight face and tell me that Apple would be where they are today if they owned getapple.com, if their domain name was getapple.com and there was some, you know, software as a service startup that had apple.com, if you think for 1 second that Apple would be the monster company that it is today, then I've got a bridge to sell you.
So, it says something about the company, right? It signifies status that you're going to be around, right? Versus like email opt-in monster or something that you know,
right.
It's not about, I'm not picking on one of our competitors, but it's like, you know, versus sumo.com, that's a brand that you're going to say like, what is that? These guys are serious about it. It's like why people put the sticker as seen on TV. It's the same reason people pay Shaq to be on the General commercials, which I don't know why he's doing the General commercials. That's a whole nother story. So number one, I wanted it because it represented something that we've worked on for a long time. Number two, it signifies status, like we're here to stay. Number three, when you actually tell people, I'll tell you why. If I had to boil it down to one reason why, it's because when I tell people sumo.com, they're like, damn, how'd you get that? Yeah. And that is something that people are going to be like, oh, well, what's the service? I'm going to take it seriously. And name one large company. I challenge you. Challenge you, Michael. I got a draw. If you want to do a duel, I will get my pistol, my revolver. Name one large company that doesn't own the main brand name. Name one.
Yes, you've got this assumption that it'll be there when you're ready to buy it, but that is wrong. That's the point of today's conversation. You're wrong. Buy your brand now, not because I said so, but because it won't be there tomorrow, I promise you.
Because it's an exceptional scalability problem on top of being a marketing problem, a problem of where you're investing your assets, problem of recuperating those assets.